guys, or bonjour for our French speaking audience. My name is Naima and I am part of the We Love New York team. I'm speaking to you from Brooklyn on this rainy day, and I'm very excited to be sharing that I will be going to a bagel making class today on behalf of the team. I will bring you guys along and share a couple of clips and talk more about the organization that invited me. So come with us.
Bagel maker, and together we are going to teach you how to make authentic New York style bagels. So show of hands, who here has made bagels before? Oh, okay, all right, very good, very good. So we have a few experts in the bunch. Well, not experts, but
successfully.
A New York bagel for the first time, Essa bagel actually. It completely blew my mind and made me realize that what I thought was my favorite food was a pale imitation of the real deal. There was so much more to bagels than I could have ever imagined, and it set me off on a journey to find the best bagel in New York City. Now, along the way, I had an epiphany. In a city that has a festival for everything, there had never been a festival to celebrate New York's iconic food, the bagel. My side hustle, I started an Instagram account and went around and started reviewing bagel shops and just making connections with folks in the bagel industry, all with the goal of throwing New York's first Bagel Fest. We successfully did so in 2019. I was hoping for 150 people. We had over 350 show up. Ooh. The next time we did it, we have over 1,600 people show up. And it's kept on growing and growing. It's now kind of the premier industry consumer trade show for the bagel world. It takes place in the fall every year. We just wrapped up. And the winner country was a shop from Dallas, Texas. Absolutely mind-boggling. So we'll talk about, is it the water, right? We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, Bagel Fest has grown and grown and grown, and along the way I decided to leverage my relationships with all the best shops in the city. Started offering tours. On the tours, people kept on asking, we want to make bagels! We want to make bagels! The only problem is, I didn't have any freaking clue how to make them. I knew how to eat them. Prolific at eating bagels, but not at making bagels.
So let me give you a demo first. So everyone's gonna get pretty much like a rope of dough to work with. And if you're right-handed or left-handed, you're gonna sort of lead with whichever hand you write with. What you're gonna be doing is taking your piece of dough, think Play-Doh snake is like what we're going for. So we're just pushing and rolling that dough completely over itself to be at least the thickness of a quarter is my goal. I'm grabbing the dough with my hand facing the table and then rolling it towards myself. And then I overlap a chunk of it, tear, and then I push it onto. They're sinking because they didn't proof enough. So if they just sink to the bottom, don't worry, they'll come back up.
Is it just water or malt?
There's just water, no malt in the water.
Absolutely.
So the longer I boil them, the thicker the skin or the crust becomes on the outside of the bagel. So if you're like playing around with your own bagel recipe at home, that's something that you can play with, is making your bagel boil between each one. This is pretty much just a big vessel that gets hot. The outside is hot, so try not to lean into it. It might burn your leg. And then when you're dropping your bagels in, Just don't do it violently and splash yourself with hot water. Just do it confidently and quickly.
This is in stark contrast to the Montreal bagel, where they just make their dough and then immediately boil and bake it. That's why they have to use honey in the dough and the water to compensate for the lack of flavor that we get here in New York.
The place. It was such a bad job that it became an insult in Yiddish in the Jewish community. Instead of telling someone, go to hell, you'd say, go bake bagels. Because you were essentially baking in hell. That's what it felt like when you were making bagels back in the day.
Beer brewing.
Yeah, exactly. It's used in beer brewing. And it's used as a sweetener. So basically the yeast eats the sugars in the barley malt and creates a nice rich flavor. Let me see if they... So, one thing New Yorkers love, it's their bagels. And our class is where you can learn how to make an authentic New York style bagel from scratch. We love New York. We'd love to see you here enjoying New York's bagel culture with our bagels.
Woo!